We often remember Walt Disney as he appeared on TV, a kindly uncle who told stories to children, but the real Walt could be more temperamental than his TV persona. His employees even had a code to warn each other when the boss was in a particularly bad mood. They called it his wounded bear suit. Executives would even call Walt's secretary to find out if he was in a good mood, but if they heard he had his wounded bear suit on that day, that was their cue to look out. Several Disney employees got personal experience with Walt's wounded bear suit. Disney artist Ken O'Connor said he would wear what they called his wounded bear suit, and everyone hid under the table when he was mad about something. Disney artist Harper Goff once said, somebody would ask, "How's Walt?" Someone else would answer, "He's got his wounded bear suit on today," and that meant that he was snapping out at everybody. Or, "He's a sweetheart today, and he liked everything." He'd say, "Oh, I like that. I don't know about you, but I think this is coming along really well." And boy, everything was good. But on the other days, I never heard of a day when somebody started off and had a bad thing that everybody that day didn't have a bad thing. You just knew you were in for it. Walt's secretary, Thelma, recalled a time when he wore the wounded bear suit for several days and things boiled over. "He had called me on something I had already told him about earlier in the day," she recalled. "I said something like, 'As I told you this morning,' and he said, 'You don't need to be so damned sassy about it.' He was furious. With that, he got up from the desk, walked over to the door, turned around and said, 'You don't have to work here. There are other places where you can go.'" Tears came to Thelma's eyes as she began cleaning out her desk, and when Walt returned to the office that day, he asked Thelma to come see him. He said, "I didn't really mean that you had to go look for another job, but you were sassy. Anyway, go buy yourself some flowers." Then he handed her a $20 bill. Thelma continued working for Walt for years afterward. When she got married to Disney employee Tom Wilk, Walt paid for the reception and even gave her away at the ceremony. As he walked her down the aisle, he whispered, "I didn't tell Tom how sassy you are." Walt never lost his prickly edge, and his employees kept a sense of humor about their mercurial boss. An aging Walt once told the studio nurse, Hazel, "After I die, I would hate to look down at this studio and find everything in a mess." "What makes you think you won't be using a periscope?" Hazel asked. Walt muttered his reply. Smartass.